Hi there, Demi McConkey here with your Insider Insight. And the insight I wanted to share with you today is around the metaphor of the GPS system. This is a metaphor that maybe you've heard before. I have used it a lot, taught with it a lot, but I have a fresh new insight around it that I wanted to share with you that's been creating a huge impact in my business and my finances and just life in general. So I wanted to offer it up in hopes that it would offer you the same. So this metaphor is whenever you are going, and nowadays it's so great because if we need to get somewhere that we've never been before, it's never been easier with our smartphones and the GPS, the Google Maps, Waze, all of the apps that we have that help us navigate from where we are to where we want to be. Recently, I was at Bear Lake and my phone got stolen. And for a split second, as we couldn't find it. And when I went to go drive home, I realized I don't know how to get there. And for a split second, I was really worried because I realized, oh my gosh, I don't know how to get home. And then it hit me. Oh yeah, my car has navigation. I just am not used to using it because I'm so used to using my phone. I was able to plug in my home to my car navigation system and get home easy and breezy. So this metaphor is for when you want to get somewhere that you've never been in life, which is where I hope for most of us, we're always going. We're always taking our businesses to the next level. We're always taking our relationships to the next level, our health, anything that one of the best experiences of being human is getting to experience our aliveness. And I know no better way than get to experiencing our aliveness than to engage in a vision and a dream and go somewhere that we've never been before. And it's one of the things that makes why we love traveling so much, is to get to experience a new destination. So experiencing a new destination life is really, it's our innate driving system to want to experience our aliveness. And the thing is that whenever we go somewhere that we've never been, we don't know how to get there. We've never been there before. It's new territory. So let me kind of go into the metaphor of the GPS, because the first thing that we do think about it, when you're plugging in, when you need to get somewhere, you plug in the address, you plug in the destination that you want to go, right? And you could plug in California, or you could plug in Los Angeles, or you could type in your friend's address in Los Angeles, and you could get very specific, or you can kind of be broadly specific, right? But it's gonna, even if you're generally specific, I've done that before where I didn't know where I wanted to go in this particular city, but I just plugged in the city and it got me to the vicinity, and then I could figure out from there where I wanted to go. Maps, Google Maps, Waze, the GPS will help determine your exact starting location. So that's the first thing that you need to distinguish, is where do you want to go and where are you going from? So those two, the starting point and your destination, those are the first two things that you need to do. And then once you've plugged those two things in, then what do you do next? Really think about this answer, because this is really important. The answer here is the same answer to what you'll do in life when you pick a new destination in life. You listen for Siri or Waze or whoever it is to tell you the next right turn, or go straight, the next direction. But she doesn't tell you 45 steps in advance. She just tells you the next one step. And this is really important. Because in life, recently I kind of taking my business from 6 figures to 7 figures. I've never been there before. And because it's a big leap for me, I want to make sure that I have it all planned out. I want to know the 45 steps in advance, right? But the problem is, when I try to do that, the next 45 steps in advance, I interfere with being able to hear it. It's like, have you ever plugged in a destination to your GPS and then gotten on a phone call and had a really serious conversation, and you're like, oh, shoot, I just missed my turn because I was so engrossed in this conversation. I've done that lots. So that's, for me, trying to need the 45 steps in advance on how to create my business, take my business to the next level. What I'm doing is I'm like having a conversation with my subconscious all the time. And it's like having this constant distraction that is interfering with the navigation system. So think about that. Think about that. Think about your big destination, your big goal, your big vision that you have for your life, your business. How are you? Are you enjoying the ride? Are you relaxing and let your internal guidance system tell you the next right step? Or are you constantly, what are the, wait, what am I going to do after this? What am I going to do after this? And constantly in a busy conversation with your subconscious, missing your internal navigating system's next right step, next right turn. Oh, crap, I missed a turn, right? I'm here to tell you that taking your business to the next level or making any significant change in your life really can be as easy as plugging in a destination and then relaxing into trusting that your internal navigating system will tell you the next right step. But here's the thing, and this is really important too, is that our internal, I call it your knowing, your internal navigating system. It will only speak to you. It's your innate intelligence speaking to you, through you. It can only speak to you through nothing. And what I mean by that is usually most of us are not creating the next thing out of nothing. We're creating it on top of a worry, a doubt, a fear, or trying to avoid something in the past. Like we're wanting to prove something in the future. And when we are creating something from that, then we're not creating from the nothing. So let me give you an example. Like recently I've been taking 3 walks a day. I started this to pattern interrupt. I had this realization that I already have everything that I want. What am I working so hard for? So these 3 walks a day are just to stop the busyness and get out and let my mind clear and just see what comes. And in the process of doing this over the past 6 months, I have come to realize that these 3 walks a day are the most important thing I can do for my life and my business. Because what happens in them is that my mind settles. And when my mind settles, my knowing speaks to me regularly, and it brings me relevant information for whatever situation I have in life or business. But I have to let my mind, on these walks initially when I go out, I have to let my mind clear. So recently I had I'm speaking at an event coming up, and they wanted a bio from me. And my bio is a little dated and I needed to update it. And that's like one of the most, I get heady things that I get writing about myself. And so I was spinning, wow, what should I say? I want to make sure that it sounds good, and I want to make sure that it has the people open up to me in the way that I want them to open up. I was not creating from nothing in that. I was creating from wanting to create something, control something in the future and avoid something in the past that I've experienced that I don't want to experience again. So I was in that tailspin, and I just knew. I shut the laptop and I went on my walk. Now, if I would have gone on my walk thinking, what should I do? How should I start it? And been in my thinking mind, I would have still been trying to create from trying to control the future and avoid something I've experienced in the past. And my knowing can't get through. That's like me using the GPS while having a really serious conversation. I'm going to miss a turn. I'm going to miss the navigation telling me what to do. So on that walk, I let my mind clear, and it took almost the entire walk. But by the time I got home, I knew exactly how to start it and exactly what to do about it in a way that I could then hand it off to my team and they could finish it for me. This is how reliable your inner knowing is consistently. But you have to let your mind settle in order for you. The metaphor is that don't have a conversation going on when you're trying to get to a destination that you have never been before. Like, don't do that. Rather, and maybe a better metaphor is that stop the conversation in the really important times when you need that inner guidance. So maybe you're going on a road trip and it says for the next 23 miles you're going to be on this highway. Great. Get in a conversation. Get in an important conversation, but make sure that you stop the conversation at 22 miles, 20 miles. the conversation that you're having here that you need to stop is the conversation with your subconscious. That's the part of the brain that is constantly trying to protect us from ever experiencing a feeling that we've experienced in the past that we don't want to feel again. And that subconscious, I like to refer to it as monkey mind. It's that part in our brain that's constantly on guard and protecting us, navigating life through fear, doubt, and worry. And it will always stir up conversation. So the thing is that part in your brain does not like to do things that are new. Your knowing, your aliveness always wants to go somewhere new. So if you've ever felt that internal battle of like, man, I've got this really big vision I want to do. That's a crazy idea. What am I thinking? That's that's the conversation that's going on. If that conversation is constantly going on, you're going to miss your internal guidance system saying, take this right turn. Right? Recently, I was going for a walk too, and I have a vision for my life that's bigger than I'm experiencing right now. And one of my suggestions in using vision is to use it not as a destination to be reached, but as a place to come from, and to connect with that vision in ways that feel really good and help you experience it in the moment, in the aliveness of it. And so we're house hunting right now for a house to move our offices to, and so just for an office house. And so in the search for houses, I like to look at these multi-million-dollar houses that are like in alignment with that vision. And I found one over the weekend that was like, this is the house, this is the perfect neighborhood, this is the neighborhood I've always wanted to live. A friend of mine lives close by. That would be amazing to go for my morning walks in this neighborhood with her a few times, and a lot of land. It was just like, this is perfect. Yes, I'll take this, please. And I knew that I wouldn't be ready for this house probably for a year or two. And so I thought to myself, well, what's really cool about the GPS system too, it works just like this. The GPS is that it seems to be able to route me getting to the destination I want with all the other traffic going on. So it'll navigate, here's a house that I want, and there's other people that want that house right now too that might be ready for it right now. And it knows how to navigate those people there and me in whatever I need to do and experience in this next year or two to be prepared for that financial investment. And when that time comes for me, that house will become available again, or one even better suited for me, more alignment. Somehow our internal navigation system knows how to route around everybody else that has their GPS going. It's traffic, right? Everybody else going for their visions, and some of the times those are going to be creating traffic. Like there's a congestion, there's a little bit of a traffic jam in this circle. It knows how to mitigate all of us moving to taking our next right turn for us all to get to the destination of choice. I personally believe that that's why sometimes it takes just a little while. I don't really know about that. But I know that this is reliable. And I know that if I am in that inner dialogue with my monkey mind, then I'm going to miss that next right step. And so the practice that I do is these 3 walks a day is how I've deliberately carved out time to listen to that internal guidance system. Because when I'm here and I'm working and there's kids and I'm handling team issues and I'm busy, sometimes it's easy to miss that next right turn. So my invitation to you is to develop a practice. What you want to do in this practice is just any practice that will help you let your mind settle. Because the nature of the mind is that it's clear. If we'll just stop thinking. The thinking, I like how Michael Singer talks about it. It's like a train station. There's trains, it's like a train station, and you can hop on. There's trains coming and going all the time, and you can hop on a train. But most of us hop on trains and we don't realize what train we're on. When you'll start to realize the train you're on is when you start feeling something that you don't like feeling. If we're feeling something that we don't like feeling, that's simply evidence that we've hopped on a train going in a destination that we don't like. And it's your body signaling you, hey, psst, hop off this train. All you have to do to get off that train is just to stop thinking. If you will just stop thinking, then your innate intelligence can get through that, the busy conversation that you're having with your subconscious. It can get through, and what it will bring you is fresh, new, creative, adaptive thinking that is most relevant to all of the situations you have at hand. So if you have troubles with your spouse, it will bring you relationship insight. If you have troubles with your weight, it will bring you an insight about your health. If you want more financial gain, and that's the destination you're in your GPS, if you'll just stop thinking, letting your mind clear, that's the fresh insights that will come, is how to increase your profits in your business. So for me, walking works really good because it's a deliberate doing where I can slow the thinking, and it's a very intention. Some people, sitting and meditating works better for them. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to sit and meditate to clear your mind. You can walk. The shower has always been a place for me where I've gotten profound insights. Start to notice the places, because your knowing has been speaking to you your whole life. It's just that we often don't give it the credit that it actually, if you'll give it the credit, then you start to distinguish it. And when you distinguish the places and the ways in which your knowing speaks to you, then you can go there when you need to. And what that is like, is that simply like, oh, I'm at 20 miles. I got to take a turn in 3 more miles. Let me stop having this conversation right now so I can clear my mind, because this is going to be an important piece in my journey that I really need to have this information on where that next right turn is. So put it to the test. Experiment with it. Find a practice where you can let your mind clear. Use this practice to stop thinking and allow fresh insight to come. It'll be fresh, it'll be new, it'll be most relevant to whatever situation is at hand. And if you have a few of these experiences, then you start to trust it and you start to build more confidence with it. For me, I realize my boardroom for my office now is my neighborhood, because this is where I make my most important business and life decisions, is in these 3 walks a day. I don't make any decision when I'm having that internal dialogue going on about not needing to control the future and wanting to avoid something I felt in the past. I'm not going to get where I want to get smoothly. So I'd love to hear what your experiences are. I'd love to hear what your questions are. So namaste.